Hello, everyone. It is Thursday. It is 2:30 p.m. PST here in Victoria, British Columbia. If you're coming on, then please say hello. Tell me where you're from. And guess what, everyone? It's so I get to be in conversation with you. So thank you for your time, because that is exactly what we're talking about today. And time is such a challenging and wonderful and expansive concept, except for I live so often in a scarcity of it. And so the work that I'm doing, very much so, is looking at time differently. And let me tell you, it is a continuous journey and a continual reframing. So how we're going to do this today is we're going to do it in two ways. We're first going to look at the physiology and thinking about time in terms of a training application and a nutrition piece. And then we're going to actually look on it from a mindset point of view. And because it really does encompass all of it, right? Like time and how we approach time. And oh my gosh. So let's start with training. So the question that I had put onto the Facebook was, how do we think about time? And I wanted to record this. So how do we think about time in our training? And so I think about time in training as, okay, I've got an hour, I'm going to make it, whatever. We book personal trainers for an hour. We have hour-long sessions. We chart out the hour. And what if we gave ourselves the freedom to come with the intention of whatever it is that we're after without putting a limit or a constriction on what that actually has to look like? Novel concept, really novel concept, and challenging too. And why it's so challenging is because we also are trying to think about, okay, well, do I need, and we get into these challenges of, do I need 5 minutes or 8 minutes of, high intensity interval training? What am I trying to do? And we forget where we're coming from. And we try to listen to the guidelines, and we read the books, and we take the courses on what is it that I'm supposed to do, what I should do, what I like, the right recipe. And the challenge with any of those recipes is that they're not necessarily based on you, where you're coming from, where your starting point is. And so what we have to, where we want to go is be like, what is the intention of what I'm trying to accomplish today? Is it strength? How am I trying to build my strength? Is it a day in which I'm wanting to do torque, pull on the bone, activate and get all the fibers? Or is it a day that I'm trying to do strength endurance? I'm trying to break down I'm trying to actually break my fibers, build up stronger, build up bigger. Is it that I'm trying to work on my cardiovascular health, support the elasticity of my blood vessels? What is it that I'm trying to do? And what do I need to do to get the job done? What one does to prepare for an Ironman is very different than when we prepare for a 70.3, very different from what we would prepare for to live an active, healthy lifestyle. And yet we compare ourselves, or we come up with this big, we need to have this many hours, or it needs to look this way. And so we know intuitively, well, I don't need to do what she's doing. But yet we end up being in the same sort of way of being around the workouts. That's what at least I see. Recovery within intervals. What you need actually differs quite a bit from the next person. Like This is what we really see in using the inside tool, is understanding your removal of lactate, the thing that actually feels like it stops us, can be very different from somebody else's. How our metabolic health of our cells, the mitochondria, the density, really impacts how we recover. Females recover differently than males. When it comes to intention about what the workout is, as we get older, we may need more recovery time between our intervals. Maybe that's true. And so why don't we take it? So take it. Like, I want to have a power. I want to do a sprint interval training. I'm trying to get into my max. I'm trying to really push that under 30-second effort. What do you need? What do you need to do that? And let's stop making it so that we have these ideas of constraint. Let's expand our view so we have the intention that's there. Nutrition. This is really interesting in terms of, we know we need to fuel for our training. Fuel for your training. What does that actually mean? Thank you, Stephanie. What does it mean to fuel for your training? It means coming in with something so that you can do and deliver on the intention of the workout. Recover from the workout. It's the big picture. And so we want to be prepared so we can like go and hit those high intensity efforts. Timing is really important. Understanding when do we need to fuel, if it's less than an hour, 90 minutes, over 90 minutes. How are we using fuel? Is it carbohydrates we're using? Is it fat we're using? Again, I'm going to get into this in the metabolic optimization work and thinking about this, which is super exciting, by the way. I'm doing a whole workshop, 3-day workshop. It's going to be in March. It's going to be beautiful. Can't wait. Anyway, so what is it that we need, but time it well so that we don't put ourselves in a deficit. We don't need to be in a deficit. It doesn't help our bodies to be in a deficit, especially from a hormonal standpoint. So stay on top of it. And so when we think about, okay, so what's that thing about that, that diet thing, that intermittent fasting thing, or that time restricted eating thing? Well, you're all fasting. It's called sleep. So that's it. Now, when we think about time restricted eating, it's coming from the point of view is that we're trying to get the body to switch into using fat instead of the carbohydrates, or coming into that. That's the concept behind that, right? So you're going through all your stores, your glycogen stores. That's why, like, when we wake up and we try to do workout, it's because you're almost out of stores. Like, come on, people, we got to get something going so we can hit the intensity and utilize and remind our bodies, we've got carbohydrates. A, we don't need to freak out, body. And B, like, you can use this. Here it is. Here's what's available. Good thinking. So, but if we're moving into that space, I want you to think about that time that you have is also to rest and digest. Metabolically, it's helpful to have space and time so your body can rest in a different way, your digestive system can rest in a different way. Helpful. Doesn't need to be for it, like the whole intermittent fasting. Are you an athlete? Are you not an athlete? Are you training hard in the morning? Are you not training hard in the morning? How do we understand our hunger cues? How do we, really address them? All important to think about. Let's get into time from a mindset. So I had this thing happen to me today. It's like, I flipped my top at my poor children. We have this thing, I'm sure people will have experienced this, is that you're trying to move and get out the door. And you're trying to get everybody there. You're trying to it's like herding cats, and you're putting so much energy. And then I realized after I flipped my top, I can't go. I was like, oh, I wasn't there. I wasn't present. Until we completely are present in our, like, what I was learning from this is like, we often live in the time that's ahead of us. I don't want to be late. So therefore, I'm going to start worrying now and try to get everybody going. And put this in the frame of thinking about time in a training situation. I am going to do this event. And so right now I'm going to start worrying about the event and start like trying to pack on more miles, or I'm going to start coming at it from a perspective of I'm not right here right now. Is this making sense? If you don't start right where you are, if you're trying to get out the door, but you're doing something else, that was my situation, then you're just living in the future that isn't where you are supposed to be. And it just creates anxiety. Like, true point, right? So therefore, what I'm saying about our mindset is we want to create possibility for our future. But we always want to live right here. We always want to be in the interval. We always want to be in the recovery. We want to be in the moment. Because as soon as we start living outside the moment, then we've lost where we need to be. That's the tricky thing about time, is let's be inspired. Let's understand the possibility of time and what's ahead of us. But let's not forget to live right here and right now, because then we get to be the best versions of whatever is showing up for ourselves. One more point on that. This is a beautiful analogy, and it's talking about boundaries. And one of the challenges I know that we have as athletes, as people who want to get stuff done, as people who have a lot of things to do in their life, as people that are taking care of others, that are, taking care of loved ones, taking care of animals. Hey, Stephanie. We feel like we're running out of time and we push things to the edge. And often what we get pushed is ourselves. We push ourselves to the edge. And the analogy I want to share with you is that we each get a cup. We're the cup. We are the vessel. Our body is our vessel. It's what we get to live in. It's home. And unless we're filling up that cup, we don't get to pour out to everybody else. We don't have it. And so this is what it's so beautiful. Brené Brown again. Setting our boundaries of time. I have to respect my time here on the bike. I need to respect the time that I'm going to take to recover. I need to not just jump up when everybody asks me to jump. That's how we get to pour out the compassion, pour out the love, pour out the caring, pour out ourselves to give to others. But if we're constantly digging into the very thing that we are, our bodies, can even think about is like in a really concrete way. If we keep on being in deficit nutritionally, then we don't have anything more to give. It's the same thing. So let's fill up our cups. Let's think of the expansiveness and create the boundaries so we allow ourselves to be really bigger and be the people that we want to be in both our training and in our lives. That is my wishes for all of you on my 45th year on this planet. I thought I was 43, but I've been corrected. I'm now 45. I missed a year. No idea how that happened, but here I am. I am now 45 years old. It's a beautiful time to be in. I just look at those that are older than me and I'm just like, oh man, oh, that wisdom. Oh, and in 10 years, just think about how much more wise I'll be. I can't wait. And so yeah, to all those ahead of me, you inspire. To all those with me here in, midlife in your 40s, let's go get them. And to all those that are coming and behind and coming up into your 40s, oh, just you wait. It's beautiful. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you for sharing your time. Love you lots. And we will see you next week, Thursday. And we're talking about stress. Stress from all the things. All right. Stephanie says, I keep minusing 2 years of my life. Like, oh my goodness. Obviously, I don't really care about age, but in any case, take care, you guys. Bye-bye.